Hello everybody, again. Time to continue in the building. Today is the day of my least favorite activity, which is soldering. Soldering everything together. Although it's good that I don't have that much actually to solder, just few wires. Few wires, that's all. I was looking for if I could see if I still have two rod end for the rear shocks, but apparently there isn't any left. I think at least. Oh, there are few. I was planning to put longer rod ends to the shocks for the rear as well. So there are bent rod ends in the front on the axle side that it's a little bit higher from the front, so maybe we could gain some more ground clearance by putting longer rod ends to the rear shocks as well. First thing that I'm gonna do is I have to drill a couple more holes for the hood panel. That's the first thing. So we can attach it, because I made it a little bit shorter, so I don't want it to cover the ESCs for nothing. There's no reason. The next thing, we will get the rear shocks out. Seems to be that my toolbox is a complete mess at the moment. Cannot find any suitable tools. And as for the other shock mounting points and links link mounting points. Now that when you have found the place that you will be using for those, you can put some Loctite afterwards so they will all stay in one place. So these are M4, the other ones are not. Okay, so again, we won't do that. I have the bent ones as for M3, but I cannot use them. Yep. So they will stay where they are. Won't make this any harder than it is already. Unless I have the right rod ends here. Somewhere. I have a feeling that I had a couple of them somewhere. These are M4 also, so we will stick with the original ones in the rear. Make it work. These are just the ideas that comes to my head when I'm building, so. I think first thing I'm going to do is I will solder the motor wires. I will put the soldering iron on, solder the motor wires because they are the most hard to reach afterwards. For that I will have to take off the rear tire. For easier access, and maybe it would be best to take the shock out from its upper mounting point also. And then we have to cut a little bit out from the wires so we can solder. Just have to see the poles. That's a negative and that's a positive. These are probably still too long. Don't have to be this long. Okay, take that much of it still. I don't know really anything about soldering. I'm not a pro with this. Far from it actually. Very, very far from it. As I said. My least favorite part of the building. For the moment it seems to be okay, but that's something I do not like to do. Then we put the shock back. do the same with the front motor wire soldering. So we need to find out the length, what we are going to use. Length seems to be pretty good, so I will just cut the ends of the wires. Take the other wires away from the place so we can have all the room that we need for soldering these. First I'm gonna put the negative wire on. I drag it from underneath the front upper links. It has the room to go from there, I believe. So we are at this moment we are not far off for the actual project to be finished. Just few more wires and then it's technically finished. I just have to adjust the radio for it and charge the battery. Happy enough with those this far. If they come off, I can fix them afterwards. So the next thing to solder would be servo wires. This time there's only 2 of them. Luckily. So as I told you, this is only necessary thing that you need to solder are the motor wires, otherwise everything was okay, but I'm just gonna make everything a little bit shorter so I don't have that much wire in the cabin to make it all confusing. Then we have to cut some heat shrink for these cables or wires. We need 4 of these little pieces. Like so. All I had was blue at this point, but that will do. Although I hate color mishmash on the rig. But I just want to get the soldering done. And I did get it done. Here you can see, and here the motor wires are soldered. So now we can continue on putting them together. Alright. I ran out of memory. I only have this 4 gigas of memory card at the moment, so I didn't think it completely through and actually ran out few minutes before I was ready. Now I'm back again, and I will put the servo wire to the receiver to channel 1, of course. So servo channel 1, ESC's channel 2 and channel 4. That's the way. And it doesn't matter really which ESC goes to channel 2 and which goes to channel 4. So servo wires on, then we can attach shock back on. That and the tire. Then the next thing is that I'm going to put all the wires a little bit cleaner into the cabin so they can be like on their final spots. For that I'm gonna need some zip ties. If we start from the rear, I will usually just attach the cables to the upper link with one zip tie. Just make sure that you have enough room for all the suspension travel that there is. It works like that. And as for the front, there are quite a lot of more wiring to be settled. First I'm gonna put all of these together. Just make it as you like, but I'm preferring to put them all like they are. They will not be hanging around anywhere, and they will be securely fastened to something. And antenna wire needs to be here also. As for now, as I don't have all that much shock travel in the front, yet at least, it's not so hard to make it work, but when you have like tons of shock travel, it's easier to put all the wires so they don't touch each other and be like jammed in anywhere, or even worse, be under the rig without any shelter. For now it's good like that. I think. What's next? I will need some Velcro tape in there. That's good enough. Get the battery. Cut the extra Velcro tape, and now I can see how the battery fits perfectly well in there. I will put the Velcro bolt on the battery and the mount, and then I will use this to tighten it up. But that's my setting. And the next thing, now it's pretty much assembled, all the electronics, and one more thing I need to do is I want to figure out the, actually I will put the hood panel on first. So we can see how does it look. Although I need to cut it a little bit from the sides to make it fit perfectly. Not much, but a little bit. And the one thing that's still bothering me is the front lower link rod ends. I want to make it work better. So now it's still scrubbing the chassis when you try the articulation. It's scrubbing quite badly, so we don't get nearly all the shock travel we need to make it work. So I will have to do some shaving, both from the chassis and the rod ends, which we can see how that helps. Okay, now it looks to be perfect fit. The hood panel also, I left it blank so I can put the competition numbers on it when I'm competing with this next summer. Okay, that was bad. Looks pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so the one last thing I need to do is fix the lower link, front lower link problem. I will take some material off from here. At least try to get some material off from there. It's plastic, so it should come off pretty easily. Well, this tool doesn't do anything. I should have a bigger tool somewhere here, but here it is. If this can fix it, nothing can. We just have to make sure that we don't cut too much, shave too much. There is actually pretty much, there's quite a lot extra material on these rod ends. They can survive on pretty amazing things. And I can cut something off from the chassis also. don't know if you can see, but I cut a little corner off from there and a little bit off from the rod end, so now we can see how it sits after this little modification. Looks better at least. I might have been cutting too much from the chassis. Yeah, it's way better. Now it has plenty of room to travel. I will do the same for the other side, so then they are equal. Can get all the shock travel we need. Did the nice job of shaving it from the wrong side, but now I have lost the screw altogether. There it is. Let's put it back on. Okay. Yeah. Now it works all the way to the bottom where the actual springs are. So, dare I say it, looks to be a ready truck, ready to be plugged in and tested. We can, for the end of this video, we can do a little test. Works. See you next time.